Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. All right, you guys want to get on the stage and do this thing? No, I think this is it tonight. Spencer's basement flooded, so. I really? Oh yeah, that's true. That's right.
It flooded again.
Again?
Yeah, like 2 times with the rain.
Oh, it flooded. I saw him at B Dubs for the draft. So it flooded. It's the draft tonight. No. But, all right, Josh, you want to put on the headset? All right. While Josh is doing that, good evening, everyone. We are recording this, so hello to everyone that is watching this. There's my hand. I'm waving. Tonight is a keys hang, and it's going to be a great time where we just get to unpack some different dynamics, learn about just keys. And honestly, keys and drums and bass and electric, I mean, honestly, they're all really cool. But keys is like the glue to a band because they just keep the atmosphere tight and together. And transitions are important. So when you have a great keys player, you can go anywhere, and you guys are all great keys player. So stop, come on, stop, and give me more. No, but seriously, I really do think we have incredible keys players, and I think the next level this year we're trying to push is from playing to sounds. Like some sounds could just inspire you. Like there are sometimes I get on pianos and I play one chord. It's like one of those those nice chords. But like it's on a felt piano, it's like the perfect amount of verb, and I go, wow, that was one chord, but it just melted my heart. So Josh really loves diving into sounds and just like crafting sounds to complement songs. And so tonight Josh is going to take us through that journey a little bit of how he processes it and goes about it and show some things on the Nord, and it's going to be great. So Josh, you want to just do a mic check, a line check? Okay, we got AirPods. You guys have your ears on. Can you hear Josh when he talks? Is it quiet? Okay, give me a second. Oh yeah. Here, Josh, let me help you real quick. Gotcha, homie.
How was everyone's day? Is it good?
Better?
Can you guys hear me?
Wait, let me a little more. So sorry, Josh.
Check. Better? 1, 2, 1, 2. Check.
You guys hear him? Great. And Josh, want me to put you in the house so you can just hear yourself a little bit too? Give me a sec.
That's one thing I actually want to talk about. I want to open us up in some scripture. And Tiana, do you want to just quick play? Okay, sweet. This is my wife, Tiana, by the way. We just recently got married, so yeah, marriage life is the best. And
viewers watching.
For all the viewers out there.
and Tiana, if you want to just play something,
Yeah.
that would be great.
I can play something.
Sweet. Let's see here. Can you guys hear that okay? Check. Awesome. All right, guys. I might have to talk a little bit louder. Hey, Jarian, I don't know if you're able to, but could you put us up a little bit louder in the ears? Would that be possible?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay, appreciate it. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, 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 1, 2, 1, 2. A little bit louder. Check, check, check. Check, 1, 2. Okay, that's good, I think. Perfect. All right, while Tiana's playing, I just want to just give us a word of encouragement in the Bible. And we're just going to talk about a man called Bezalel. Has anyone heard of Bezalel? No? It's the same for me too. I was just going across the Old Testament, and this just like stood out to me like crazy in the sense of like creativity and art and what we do, worship, and just like working with our hands and what God has given us. So there's this man named Bezalel, and the context of this is Moses was receiving instruction from God on Mount Sinai. Moses received instruction that a man named Bezalel would be chosen to be the main craftsman for the tabernacle. And I just want to read this passage, Exodus 31, 1 through 11. Then the Lord said to Moses, "See, I have chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Ur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and with all kinds of skill, to make artistic design for work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stones, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of crafts. Moreover, I have appointed Oliab, son of Isamach, of the tribe of Dan, to help him. Also, I have given ability to all the skilled workers to make everything I have commanded you: the tent of meeting, the ark of the covenant law with the atonement cover on it, and all the furnishings of the tent. They are to make them just as I commanded you." Then the next passage goes, well, actually, I just want to quick speak on that. So Bezalel, he was just like a common man, and he was just like a guy. He probably was like a equal, like maybe just like a construction worker, a carpenter, electrician. He worked with his hands, but God chose him for a specific purpose, to work with his hands. I've chosen you to build the tabernacle. I've commanded you. That was the command God gave to Moses. And I think for us, in the sense of creativity, God gave a creative gift to Bezalel for such a time as that, to build the tabernacle and to do his work. And I think that really applies to us as musicians. We sometimes might just go through the motions of life, of just like, okay, I have to prepare for Sunday, I have to work and I have to practice, I just have to like plug in and I'll be okay. But God has given us a specific thing with the work of our hands and for his purposes. So I think with Bezalel, the same goes for us. We have to posture ourselves in a place of humility, but also knowing consciously that we're chosen by God to be able to work for his purposes. And I just really think that's cool. So I just want to encourage us in that. And why don't we just stand up and just like lay out our hands right now in front of us. And as the music keeps playing, let's just focus in on, let's actually just take 10 seconds to meditate on our day, the work of our hands today. And let's just meditate on what God has given us on our day-to-day, and then the gifts as well of music. Let's just take some time to meditate on that. Yes, Lord, we're called for such a time as this, for your church, to build others up. Thank you for the gift of music. Thank you for the work that is in front of us. I pray just like the way you called Bezalel in that time with artistic design, that you blessed him with your spirit. I pray the same way we would just humble ourselves right now before you. And I just pray that in this time we get to gather, we get to learn, and we get to draw closer to you through the gift of music. through what you've given us in our hands. And I pray that we dedicate every note, all our efforts, and our devotion all towards you. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Awesome. You guys can take a seat. Thank you, T. All right. Let's fade us out. Hard fade, hard fade. All right. And if you guys want to actually sit right there, we're going to play a video to go to start off with. You guys can sit right there. And I'll show you guys my screen. So real quick, I have some notes. And these are the notes we're going to go over. But first, I'm just going to quick play a video, and they're going to cover about like 70 to 75% of the notes that I have, specifically for piano. So we'll just go over this, and this video is the keys player, the piano player of Elevation Worship, which I really look up to his style. And I think it's a really cool resource for us, just like to get some context of like kind of what's going on in the worship world. So let's just quick play this video. Here we go.
The best patch on a Nord
You guys can
is
sit
the
anywhere.
Royal Grand 3D, hands down. No reverb, no nothing, no EQ, just. It feels the closest to sounding like an actual grand piano. Now, if I want to get real fancy with it and figure out what other things I can do with it, then for example, let's turn on just a little bit of EQ. I'll mess with 4, 5 things on this thing. Let's talk about the treble. I always say, just turn a knob and see what it does. You could always restart the Nord if you messed up. You could just reset it to its factory settings, but turn a knob, see what it does. That's treble, that's all the way up, it's all the way down. Let's mess with the mid. All the way up, all the way down, right? Let's go to the bass. All the way up, all the way down. And we all know good old-fashioned reverb. All the way out, all the way. So if I want to go with something that has a little more of a softer tone in the beginning, I may pull the treble down some, but I still want to have that beefier, like low end. Bring my bass up a little bit, and it's still a slower song. So like maybe a song 3 in your set, the back end of your set. I'll maybe adjust the mid a touch, but I might not touch it at all, really. Turn my reverb on, give it probably halfway just so it can set an atmosphere that you can. For example, if I did something like Forever Yahweh. And then that's the beginning of the song, and then as the song progresses and you get to the bridge, then I'll just adjust everything back to brighten it up as the song keeps getting bigger.
During the song?
During the song. So I may for example, I'll do that for the intro and for the first verse, and for the first chorus, I'll bring it up a little bit. I'll bring my treble up a little bit just to brighten it a touch. I'll bring my mid back to neutral. And then, so by first chorus, and then by the time I get to the bridge, I'm at a point where I'm just like, okay, cool. If you're gonna go to the climax of the song, like the big part of the song, let's bring that treble up a little bit. Let's just brighten it up a little bit. Let's bring that reverb all the way down. Or down, I don't want to say all the way down, but maybe like,
So are you bringing the reverb down to cut through more?
to cut through. Because now we're talking about, there's so much more that's about to happen. There's another button called timbre, and there's 3 options of timbre. It's soft, mid, and bright. And if I were to turn the EQ off, let's leave the reverb on, that's fine. Let's turn that off. and I just touch this button. This is the soft, right? This is regular, no timbre at all. This is soft. This is mid. This is bright. So it's also something that's already preset or pre-built in this whole thing to kind of do what you're trying to do, but it doesn't also mean you can't leave that on and still do things too.
How often do you use the timbre?
All the time. Because for example, if I want to do soft, right? This is the regular. Soft timbre. It's good, right? Now let's just double that and bring that treble down some more. Let's bring that verb all the way up a little bit, about maybe 2 o'clock this time. Because 2 o'clock means you can do less notes and it can take up more of the space. Let's bring the bass up a little bit so you can get some more low end. Now I bring the treble back up to get it back to this original space. Bring the reverb down. Now adjust the timbre, trying to take it all the way off. Something that I always say is that I'm trying to serve the song. And so serving the song means I can't serve the song the same way every single time. Like I can't play Gyra the same way that I would play Wait on You, or how I would play Make a Way, or how I would even play More Than Able. Those all those are 4 drastically different songs trying to serve a different purpose in each time that it's being played.
Check. Yeah, so good. Yeah, I really look up to that keys player because, man, he's amazing. If you guys have heard him on multi-tracks and all these different stems we get on Planning Center. We'll just go around. What's one thing that you guys kind of like picked up that you kind of didn't know, or that you already did know, and that you kind of use in worship, or that you plan to use next time you use a Nord, or next time you use your instrument? So we'll just go around if you guys have any thoughts.
I definitely think the timbre.
Yeah, they pronounce it timbre. I don't know why, but
I could hear a significant difference in that, and I thought that would be so practically useful for a lot of the songs that we do, of like that softness versus that like more forceful tone within.
Is that the is that
Isn't that?
yeah, so timbre.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about that as well, even just with like playing behind the speaker.
Yeah.
You know, and just how practical it is to just be able to soften that up, turn the reverb up, and really just set a different mood completely than just trying to have to play softer. And you know, I come from a classical piano training standpoint, and you know, jumped into worship years ago. But like, that's how I was trained. That's how I play softer, play louder. You know, and knowing like there's tools to make it even better, and that's just I think that opens up a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. That's good.
Yeah,
Aaron.
I do use the timbre quite a bit. I didn't know it was called that, but I do use whatever that is. I do use that button a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't really mess with anything as far as EQ, because I'm just like, those are minor tweaks that like I want to focus my attention on what I'm playing, and I don't want to be messing with all the dials and stuff when I don't really know what I'm doing anyways over there. So I'm like, I can get what I want out of the timbre, but when I'm listening to him and I'm hearing him be like, you can double down by bringing down. Ooh, I got a mic.
Ooh.
But when I heard him like bring down the high end, after he went to the low, I think on the timbre he went to the low, and then he brought down the high end and it like doubled down on it.
Yeah.
That wasn't just a minor tweak. That was a huge adjustment. So I think there's a lot of growth I could have by messing with the EQs.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely like changed a lot of his tone when he was like going through the timbre and the EQ. So definitely heard that. Anyone else? Anything stood out while you guys watched the video, or any other thoughts?
I would just say I watched that video many times, and actually when I dialed in the Nord, I watched that video to it, and it's just I feel like the moneymaker on the Nord is the EQ. Like EQ plays such a big dynamic of when it's just the keys, crank that bass up, baby. Like we want to feel it when the band's in. You roll that thing back so it punches through better. Like it's just cool that that is like a live, like functioning part of the keyboard that really does just change the whole entire tone of someone cutting through a mix or cutting out. So it's just cool that in live time he's like messing with that, you know. He's shaping his sound as he plays with the band, which is cool.
On a Sunday morning when we've got, you know, keys two, and then we've got the tracks that are coming through, sometimes it's kind of hard to know, like, how much like bass you're looking for.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, especially when we've got a bass player, we've got the tracks, we've got
Totally.
the, you know, so where do you, like, strike the balance there?
Josh, you want to answer that? Maybe how you approach it?
Yeah, I would just say kind of like Scott was saying from Elevation Worship, like we're serving the song as musicians, and like even listening to the backing tracks at home, practicing and knowing where like each phrase of the song, bridge, builds, pre-chorus, chorus two, like down moments, like with bass and EQ and all these different things. I think like getting to a place like even now having these conversations really like puts into words where we want to go in the song and how to get there. So I would just say like at home, just like thinking about, okay, I have the timbre, I have soft, I have mid, I have bright, and then I have nothing. And then also the EQs, bass, mid, treble to help me out as well in those timbre effects. And just like kind of visually and like sonically thinking through those things at home can help out in those moments. So with the tracks and keys too, I also think like getting a good in-ear mix on Tuesday, which like we kind of went over on rehearsal, just like dialing in more of our sound with the new system that we're running, I think that really helps out. And taking things in and out of the tracks helps out too, to kind of declutter the mix and to like know where keys 1 and keys 2 are going, like sonically and dynamically. So, yeah. Any other questions, or not questions, but things that stood out, or just any other points? Sweet. All right. So on the last page, just to finish off with the timbre, so I got timbre on the last page. It controls overall tone color. So we got soft, mid, bright, and nothing. So on that note, on the same note of timbre, let's talk about EQ. And I believe it's on the second page, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. All right, so we got equalizer. And basically with the EQ, so on the Nord Stage 4, we have 4 dials for EQ. And if you guys want to move around too, that's totally cool. So we got 4 dials on the EQ. So we got treble, we got mid, and then on top of mid, we have the frequency. And I looked it up, I was like, okay, what does that like really mean, like on top of frequency? So the frequency knob, it's basically on our notes, it's where the sound sits in the mid range, and then the mid gain is how much of that frequency you hear. So let me see if I can pull this up. Let me take this off really quick, y'all. So if I put this all the way at 0, so it gets a little bit more nasally. So yeah, see, it's very sensitive. And then with this mid frequency, where the sound sits in the mid range, I usually like to put it at 1.0, like right flat in the middle. But I also saw on the Elevation keys player, Scott, he likes to put it at like 800. So turn it down to the left a little bit to make it like a little bit more soft. And kind of like what he was saying, I don't play the song Gyra the same way I play made away, I don't know, whatever elevation. Like, I don't play that song the same way. So for more like down moments, play with it. 800 is a nice like range for like softer tones. So I like that. So it's a little bit more soft, and we'll go through some audio examples later. And then the bass, very straightforward. Yeah, you got your bass. Cool, cool. And then always make sure that this is on, and that's gonna trigger your piano, okay? Awesome.
What is that button?
It's the on button.
Oh.
Yeah. I was just being literal.
I was like, what button?
Which button is that? Oh,
It's just, yeah.
Too, like Josh, right? Like, but you also can if you're blending multiple pianos, you could EQ one piano instead of like them as a global sound. Does that make sense?
wait, say that again?
So like you could blend two piano sounds on the Nord. You could choose one piano to EQ versus doing the whole entire thing, right?
Yeah, that's a good point, Jerry. And so on A, so let's see here if it's gonna work for me. Let's see here. So for A, this is piano layer 1, piano layer A right here, and this shows that it's on. This guy right here, let's just pretend it's working, but this guy right here, A, will light up. But right now it's on A and B, which is fine.
Yeah, you can both.
You can do both, and that's gonna change the EQ of both.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
and if
what
you
you're
want
saying.
to EQ both, like you like the way they sound together, then that's great as well. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, let's just go through reverbs, okay? So for reverb, I always like to have like a reverb when I'm playing, just because I feel like that's where the worship sound is at right now. It's not dry like worship sound. If we're playing like funk or playing like gospel or we're playing like something choppy or poppy, like Sing of Your Love, actually that uses reverb, but whatever. Reverb, we always want to have some. Like, I think that's like a good place to be at with like Engedi's sound and just the worship sound in general. So what I like to do is I like to either go room, stage, or cathedral. Actually, I like to do stage, hall, and cathedral. So those are good reverbs to have. And then I always like to have some, so I'll always put it at like, even like at the lowest, like 1.5 or 2. I noticed that if you get to like 5.5, that's like the max point I have it at until it gets washy and then it's like really cluttery. That's good for like beginning of songs and like intros and whatnot. But again, reverb is our friend. There's also bright and dark settings. So bright is very good for like not getting in the way of vocals. Dark is kind of like sits in the mid-range of like your vocals and like guitars, keys too. So yeah, that's your reverb.
You normally rock it on bright?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you play a difference between like 1.5 and then?
Yep. So here's 1.5. So you hear that tail, and then we'll go at 4. And here's 5. So that is the cathedral. I wouldn't use that on like every song cathedral because it has a really long tail as opposed to like your stage or even your hall. So let's do 3.5. So that one you can push more. So let's do 5.5. So they're all different. So I would just say kind of like with our resources on the YouTube videos, you guys can like play around with that. They have different reverbs on the Ultimate Nord Stage 4 walkthrough that you guys can like look through. So yeah, that's your reverbs. All right. Next thing we're gonna go through is we went over timbre. Does anyone have any like, okay, let's just like have kind of like an opinion or your own like experience with the timbre. What are your guys' settings? Why and when? Like, when would you use a soft, and when would you use a bright or a mid? And like, how do you guys feel when you play them?
For me, I usually go soft on like the slower kind of.
Here, use the mic. Sorry. For online.
So I'll use the soft on like the back half of the set, so like the slower songs, the more piano driven. And then I'll use bright for usually like our first song when it's more upbeat, cuts through a little more.
Mm-hmm.
How does it make me feel? All sorts of ways.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not a piano player, but I'll say my preference. When I have played on the Nord, I usually use a soft like in down verses, like when it's a really gentle start of a song. Like for example, Gyra, I'd probably put it honestly on bright to start the song, like mid. But like if it's like Sure Been Good, dum, dum, like just a real soft touch, I usually put the soft on. And then honestly, even in certain parts of the song, I would put bright on, even in the same set, like the same song. So for like Gyra, you know, like like, I want that thing to cut. I'll just put that thing on bright because I want it to punch through and just like be really compressed, you know, and articulate when I'm playing it. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's really good. I think the cool thing to note is like they all have their purposes and like down moments and loud moments, and I think that's really, really interesting with it. I think one thing that for me is they have so much character. Like when you use it, I barely use the mid timbre just because it's so nasally. I don't know if you guys feel that. The bright is also super like sensitive and like really bright and has like a lot of attack. So I just wanted your guys' like opinion of like, do you guys struggle with it at all, or do you guys like love the personalities of each timbre? But I really liked everyone's.
I think
You know,
too,
but-
I find when I'm playing like on this side of the keyboard, if I'm playing like higher notes, I'm putting it more on bright. If I'm driving more of like the chords, then I'm putting it on low.
Yeah, that's good. All right, guys, love it. So next thing we're gonna go over, let's go over some compression, okay? So compression, I always feel like each musician gives a different definition of compression, and then people who aren't familiar with compression, they just give like their own definition, which is so funny. But we'll just go over the Nord's definition. So global compression is gonna be right here. So just like this on button, on is gonna affect the entire keyboard output. And for me, what I've experienced is putting it at 2 is like your safe space for piano playing. So it's not gonna get too blocky or like too punchy. It's just gonna sit well in the mix. And we'll go over other compressors too on the piano section of the Nord. But on your right of the Nord Stage 4 is your global compressor. And then moving down the notes, dynamic compressor, it's gonna be right here, right in the middle. And the cool thing about the dynamic compressor on the Nord Stage 4 that's different from other Nord keyboards is it has 4 levels, 0, 25, 50, and then number 3 is 75, okay? So level 1 is subtle compression, level 2 is more balanced compression, and then level 3 is very sensitive, it's heavy compression. So there's some definitions below and examples of when you guys would use that in those notes. And yeah, the number 1, or level 25, I use that a lot during like flow moments and whatnot, and just like subtle lines. And then at 50%, level 2, that's more like for full band moments. And number 3 is like for really like song ones, when I want to get like really in your face in the mix. So those things help besides like the global compressor. It really like allows your piano to be in the band and almost like kind of get and like pronounce itself and like I'm in the room right now. It's a cheat code really for me because like I don't have to do so much. So at like 1, let's see here. So 0 is, and then number 3 is. So number 3, I don't have much room to give much velocity. So if I'm playing light like I normally do, it's not gonna let me. It's just gonna be at like one level at 100%. So then I can play light, but at 3, you can use that during flow moments.
Does anyone know like a compressor, just like the basic what compressor does?
Yeah, it's like the dynamic of the note. So the softer you hit, like if you have a low compressor, like it's you gotta hit it hard to get the hard. The compressor, it's like the softer you hit it with the low compressor, like you need to hit hard to have the feel for it. But if you have like depending on where the compressor is, the harder you feel could be easier. So it just.
So what's the difference between that and like the key sensitivity?
The timbre?
No, like there's a
Or the timbre?
no, there's a way to adjust your sensitivity.
No, that would be velocity. That would be just the weight of the key in general. This compressor would be, help me out here.
Yeah, so it'd be like a vocal, and Josh, you correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But like, compressor will allow like your soft notes to come up to a certain level, and it'll also allow your hard moments to come down to that same level. So like, it'll smash if you're playing hard, it won't get louder than what the compressor enables. But then if you're playing soft, it'll spike it up to that volume. So compressor is nice when you're just trying to be punchy in a mix, where when you have a compressor off, you have a lot more dynamic. So like, compressors are great for my acoustic because if I'm finger picking, I want my acoustic, the finger picking to really cut through the house when it's at a down moment so you can hear it. And when I'm playing big, it just brings my volume back down to that same spot. Would you add anything more to that?
No, I like what you said about just like having it like an equal playing field with compression, or like what you said, and just like having no compression kind of like allows you to be kind of like everywhere around like the volume range.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree with that. And I just want to give a quick like audio example with dynamic compressing. So say I'm doing like wash. So I don't like that key. So I have 0 compression. So this is like no compression at all. So I can like be quiet if I wanted to. So I'm gonna put on the dynamic compression little by little. So, you hear that? That's at 75. So, I'd imagine us like using that a lot on the song 1, and just like big moments in like song 2, song 3,
Yeah, it's great.
like chorus, bridge.
Yep. Even like lead parts in a down song, if they're doing hits, ba-da-da-da-da, like you want to be as dynamic as the drums are being. That compressor helps you give that same energy. Versus if you don't, you're gonna have to hit the piano like a madman.
Yeah, exactly. I love what Jarian said. It's like we're doing less with these tools. Like think of this as a toolbox. Like we're doing more if we don't use this, like these buttons and like these compressors, we're doing more with our hands and we're gonna get tired and we're gonna just like, how do I, like sometimes I just like to cheat with music. I was like, how do I do less and like sound good? And I really like that with music and the Nord and software, so.
So what buttons is it?
So it's dynamic compression right here.
Yeah.
So this is off, 25, 50, 75, off.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
75 is your sweet spot.
I would say 25 and then 50 is my like chorus 2.
Do you always keep 25 when you're not doing 75, or do you have it off at times?
I have it off when the MC is up, so I can be like low in the mix, and then like I play harder when we're swelling in with the band. And then once I go in for the intro, like song 2, for example, then I'm at 25. And then once we get to like verse 2 with the drums and the snare, then I'll get to 50, so I can get in with the rest of the band.
That's great. So compressor would be terrible for vamping under pass rhyme,
Exactly. Yeah.
because you want to be dynamic with it.
You want to be dynamic. You want to hide sometimes. You want to get like, you know, really dig. So no compression, no dynamic compression allows you to do like hiding and then be strong. So, any questions on like compression or that function?
When you're doing a gain check, like a level check, when they're doing a build check, do you have your compression on, like in a big moment, or do you usually keep it off?
For the build checks, I usually have it on, like 25, and then once I hear like everyone like full band, and then once we get to the vocalist, like meaning we're done with the band, then I'll like, okay, I can turn it up to 50, and then I'll just leave it there. 75 will be a lot, it'll be in your face, but yeah, I'll either just keep it at 25 at the beginning and then 50 towards the end if I need it.
It's so funny. There was a couple Sundays ago where Josh Blum was playing. He goes, dude, it just is like all in my face all the time. And I would now assume that it was because the compression was on, and I didn't know anything about it until you showed me today, Josh. So
Yeah.
it's actually
I had the same thing last Sunday. I was
It's in
like,
your face.
What's happening? Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time, I'm just like pressing it, and it's just like boom. You know, you're like,
You're like, whoa, whoa,
"Jeez."
whoa.
Yeah,
that's funny.
yeah.
But
I think
I adjusted like I used a different one to adjust it, because I figured out like how to fix it, but it wasn't that one. It was something different.
To fix what?
because the guys are saying that there might be a busted key on there.
There is C and E.
Yeah, it was the C. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
C, yeah.
this one. What is it?
Oh, heavy, so keyboard touch.
Yeah. So when I took that off of heavy, it went away.
Yeah, so I'll just,
Yeah,
since we're
what's the
on it.
difference between that and compressor?
So I'll just read it to you guys. Keyboard touch, it just controls how the keyboard responds to your playing. So heavy, like you're a heavy player. I'm a heavy player because I have like a heavy keyboard at home. So I really dig into like the keys. If you're like a light player, it gives you like a bright response. And medium is kind of like maybe some people's, like most people's sweet spot. But I'm more of a heavy player, so it'll give me like, wait. It'll give you more of a velocity. So is that what kind of happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had
So
it
it's
at,
pretty similar to compression, but it's same but different.
yeah, it's like, has a lot to do with like each individual
Yeah.
player's velocity. So,
Yeah, that's what was happening.
all right, so we're gonna keep moving on, and then we got a couple more knobs to go through, and then we're gonna do some audio examples, so get ready for those, because we're gonna choose some people. All right, so let's go to page 2. Okay, so page 2, we're gonna go to acoustics right here. So it's right by these faders. It's on the right of it. It's soft release and string release. So I'll just read it. Soft release is smooths the note release phase. So it's interesting. You kind of have to play with the Nord, like maybe even to like before a rehearsal to kind of really hear the difference. But a string release right below it, the string release is a sample of a real piano. So it's like the string of a piano, because like the felt, like the knobs, like because you guys are all piano players, Jared and you too. You are. Yeah. You have a piano at home, so. But the hammers, they hit a string, and when you do string release on here, it's gonna give you that more realistic release. So you can't really hear it, but it adds to like worship, because worship music is very sustained a lot of the time. Like you don't want anything super dry, kind of like with the reverb. Always gonna want a little bit of reverb. So these things can help you out. All right. Next is unison. I don't envision us using a lot of unison, but I'll just quick run through it. Unison makes one note sound like multiple notes, so you kind of hear that chorusy sound and that like detuned sound. So that's cleaner because I took it off.
You
So
also
you
hear like the note, like you hear the noise of the hammers.
Yeah.
Like you hear the noise of that.
Yeah. So yeah, so you can like hear like all the different characteristics once you like turn that thing on. I would use it if you like have like a chorusy effect on your piano, or you have like this thing you want to experiment with leads. So I would use it then. Drive on this thing, I never use it. It's like, it's more for guitar players, I feel. All right, what else we got before we move on to some audio examples and have people play? What else? Faders, you can combine pianos here. I like to combine mine with a felt piano, and I'll quick give an example of a piano combination I made, and also with the EQs we went over, as well as compression. So let's.
You have a preset on there?
Yeah, I have a preset on there.
Just leave it there for Sundays.
Okay, will do.
What
Yeah.
pianos is it?
This one is this song I'm about to cover is by Elevation, and it's the Royal Grand 3D that Scott, the piano player from Elevation, he uses all the time. So if you want to sound like Elevation Worship, play the Royal Grand 3D. It's under Grand, under the piano select, and you just go to Royal Grand 3D. So let's go over this, and then I'll just do a quick audio example. Let's see here.
Two, three, four. Intro. Verse 1.
kind of like an underwater sound that I feel when I listen to it. So that's like an underwatery sound. So I really tweaked with the EQ, the reverb, dynamic compression, I put at 25. I put the timbre at soft. I put all of the releases on so I could get that wash sound. And then I also put a felt piano.
What felt piano is that?
The C is really low, but it's okay. Sorry, what was that?
What piano is it?
It's called a felt upright. So I just like to have that underneath like
Yeah, piano.
a grand piano.
That's great combo.
I like to have that for like intros or down moments. And then have the grand piano. So that's my underwater sound that I feel is for the song. And then here is the preset without any effects. You hear that? It's like poppy. And it's like, it sounds good, but to thicken it up, so going back. So just messing around with the things we went over, reverb, the compression, the global compression, dynamic compression, and just like the layering of felts and grands is really helpful.
Yeah,
So,
that's beautiful, dude.
yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love the Nord because everyone's using it. Elevation's using it. Royal Grand 3D is right there. Just like going over elevation resources online on YouTube is such a cheat code just to go over. Like, okay, like I want to sound like this. I want to experiment. You craft your sound.
Hey, Josh.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Tell me.
I know that you build out a lot of your sounds in there, right?
Yeah.
What's the program called?
Main stage.
Main Stage? But everything you're showing us here is just all within the Nord. Like, that's not something you need Main Stage for, right?
Yeah, you don't need main stage for the Nord.
But what I'm saying is, like,
Yeah.
all of these sounds that you're showing us, like the felt piano and all that, that's all built into the Nord. That's not something that's connected to Main Stage.
Yeah, it's all built into the Nord. So, really good question. The felt piano is, I believe that's under upright when you go here to piano select. So you go to upright, and then you go to different, I go to felt upright for that, for the combo.
Okay.
And then for A, I just usually have the
That's beautiful.
Royal Grand 3D. All right, we'll go over one more audio example of like all the effects we went over, and then we're gonna have some flow moments that we can use these tools in our playing and dynamics in like a real worship setting. So let's just go over the song Thank God I'm Free, what it would sound like with no effects on it. Okay. Cool.
Bridge. Breakdown. Bridge. Slowly built. Build. Bridge. All in.
So that sounded good, but it kind of just like got a little bit like, so if I'm seeing like a graph of like the EQ, which I'll pull it up really quick. If I'm seeing like a graph of EQ in my brain, which sometimes I think about, I'm seeing it like more here, like my sound, and I want that sound to kind of like annoy you in a way to like get you to do something. Like I wanted to excite you, and it's like it's a song one. You're like, just got up in the morning. I'm like, I want to be happy. Like I want you to be happy. And I'm like, I'm happy. Let's go. You know? All right. So I want to be here, like somewhere around here. Not here, but like I want to be like here and just like, you know, make your day. So I made a preset. Let's go with effects. And this is how it went.
Bridge. Breakdown. Bridge. Slowly built.
So that could use some work on my end. Like it's kind of bright and like I got a little bit off the click. But that's the fun part of the Nord is like you can save your preset and like label it, thank God I'm free, and just get comfortable with that, with all the tools we went over. So those are just two audio examples that I think like can just like motivate us to use this toolbox and this tool bed to really just like empower us to play these songs in an easier way, a fresh way, and just like a modern way. So
So how do
yeah.
you do that? How do you build the preset and label it?
So we're usually on live mode when you turn on the Nord. So it's usually on live mode. And then I turn live mode off. And then I go to the sound bank through program right here. And then what I do is I just go ahead and select the pianos. If the organ is on, I just turn it off, whatever pad you want. But I'll just turn that off for now. And then what I do is once I have a sound, I just go to Shift, Store, and I just hold it. And then it'll store the program as whatever you want. And then you go to ABC, delete instrument, and then you can just type in whatever patch you want. So you just go to Shift, Store, and then you go to Store again, and then you can store it to wherever you want. So like, say you want to go to 30 or 31. You go to Store, and then it'll be there. And you can label it like Song 1, Thank God I'm Free.
You can label your, like, you can store a piano saying, like, Josh Willing. Like, your piano, your settings.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. For,
Yeah.
Like, as a bass template for our players every week.
Yeah.
That's actually an idea you just gave me, Josh.
Does the church have any extra Nords that like we can borrow and bring home for a week or something to kind of, because a lot of stuff, I mean, this is all incredible, but like I'm never gonna remember that, you know, just from seeing it one time, and then like unless I can play around with it and learn it.
Your worship pastor is pretty cool. I'll let you take the Nord home. Seriously, like if you're playing the week of, and you're like Tuesday after rehearsal, or even before, like Sunday after church, you know you're playing Tuesday. Sorry. Yeah, if you're like playing the weekend, and maybe for all the campuses too, just talk to your worship leaders. But I would say, just say, hey, can I take a Sunday after church? And then I'm gonna bring it on Tuesday for rehearsal, or vice versa. Tuesday after rehearsal, say, hey, can I take it for the week? And as long as we don't have any like events happening at the church, I would say go for it. You know, we don't have a case for it, which might be a good investment in the future. But I would say just take care of it. But you can take it home and learn it. And it's cool we have this video too, so you can just play along with it, fast forward it, and go through it. But all that to say too, I would say like, Josh, when you're going through live modes or different settings, would it hold a sustaining note from the one previous, or does it do a hard cut?
Through live mode,
No, not live mode. Like,
or the
Sorry.
mode I was already on.
yeah, what is that mode called?
It's it's usually on live mode. I turn off live mode. It's program mode.
So program mode.
Yeah.
Like if you're, let's say, like sustain a chord on one of the programs.
Okay.
When you sustain that and you go through,
Yeah, it sustains as you
that's
transition.
cool. The Nord 3 would not allow you to do that.
Oh no.
Yeah, the older Nords don't let you do that. So that's why a lot of people said they went to live mode, because live mode, if you're switching sounds, it'll let you sustain. That was one of the nice features of the Nord 4. Because like on some Nords, like the Electros and stuff, it's like, man, it just cut out. So that's really cool that you could do it on that program mode. But yeah, I would say take it home and just learn with it. Because the more you dive into it and like, yeah, I think it just becomes so much easier to craft sounds. And the fact that like Josh made like Sure Been Good, like to sound like it, you know, you could just, what it will allow you to do is when you're taking it home and you practice it, or even at rehearsal, if you got here early, you could dial in the sounds of what you feel like the piano sounds like the recording, then store it, so like you're not having to worry about the sounds on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
You know? So that's really cool, Josh.
All right, guys. Love that. I was making sure that for the next thing.
You just don't like compliments, you know?
No, I love that because Jarian let me use this Nord. I'm like, guys, this is such an amazing piece of equipment. It's like he let me use it to like design this keys hang, which is so cool. And I just think that's a great opportunity as musicians to learn this, to make it easy on our lives, our hands, and our sound. And just like taking things home, like that's one way like I learned main stage. Like when I was a kid, I was so bad at keys. But my uncle, he believed in me, and he let me take equipment home. He's like just take it home and just learn with it. And that's just one way, like as musicians, we can soar and get better. So I love that, Jarian. All right, so we're gonna transition to the next piece, and this is gonna be flow moments. So I would like to explain what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do flow moments, and I have a preset loaded. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to the backing track, and the MD is like the girl voice, the cue in our ears. She's gonna call chords like in numbers, and we're just gonna respond to those and to like the other instruments and the backing tracks in our ears. And then what I would like you guys to do is at least use one or two or more of these functions that we went over, just so we can like respond to the song dynamically. So right now I have a piano patch, but I don't have any compression. I don't have anything on the timbre. I do have 2 on the compressor, but it's not gonna make a huge difference. And I don't have any reverb. I only have like 2%. But, so with that being said, I'm just gonna quick get off my chair. If anyone wants to step up and be the first volunteer, how about you, Tiana? Do you want to go up?
Oh, yeah. I can. I didn't remember. I didn't
pressure.
remember my in-ears, so I'm using Big Funny.
Oh, the cans. Sweet.
I know exactly. No, I know exactly. The drummers all day be wearing these. Okay. All right.
Can you?
All right. It is kind of nice to look at it from this
What
side.
key is the track gonna be in?
This one's gonna be in the key of C.
See.
Can you hear yourself well?
Yes.
Okay.
I just kind of want to take a second to look over.
Yeah, for sure.
So I wasn't able to look at it. So compression is in this section.
Yeah,
here.
compression's gonna be here, but we're probably just gonna leave it at 2.
Okay.
And then let's just focus on reverb going on the right, EQ if we need to. So reverb, EQ, and then let's also focus on timbre and dynamic compression.
Timbre is
Timbre is going to be, sorry, it's not, right here.
okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, here we go. Key of C.
Two. 4. 1. 5. Drums in. Build. Chorus 2. Chorus 2. Bring it down.
I was having a difficult time.
Nice.
With
Hey, can we give up for Tiana or Mijo? What was that button you pressed?
So I was pressing here, thinking it was gonna be more bright, but then it felt like it pulled back on me, and I
Oh,
was
really?
like, oh, because I was like, when it was getting brighter, I was trying to turn the timbre to bright, and I was like, oh, it felt like it came from out of my.
For your
it
mix?
slipped. Yeah, and I was like, oh, and I was
I
like,
can hear-
I was like, never mind, and so then I was like, let me go back to mid, okay. So I think I was a little confused with that, with the dynamics. I was
Here.
trying to find, I think a lot of it for me personally is just finding and being able to have it as a knee-jerk response of how to go to.
Yeah.
Because I don't know it super well, so
Yeah,
I was just learning that, where everything is.
yeah, for sure. I think that's like a repetition thing as musicians that is like good for us. And like even right now, like I love that as musicians sometimes like, oh, we want like the best and like the best, but like right now, let's just like focus on like, I don't know, we're gonna mess up, like I'm gonna mess up, but it's like, here's the time to mess up. And just like, okay, just like Tiana said, like I don't have that knee-jerk response and that reaction. So now we know in the future, like, okay, this button does this, and this like response will give me this sonic, you know, response. So
It honestly sounded really good. The beginning was beautiful when it was down. As soon as the band came in, it felt a little mid-heavy, where I
Well,
wanted
right.
to hear more high.
Exactly, and so when I changed it to bright, which I was trying to look for the compression, I didn't know where compression, because I wanted compression to be more
Well, that
like
would punch
solid.
it. Yeah, that would punch it
So
more.
I was trying to look for that, but I was like trying to do
But I
it,
wonder
and I was
over here, like on the high frequency, if you were to roll that up just a little bit.
this high, yeah.
yeah,
Not the mid, maybe the highs, bringing the highs up.
Treble.
Yeah, the treble.
Yeah, that would have
Yeah.
helped.
Just to maybe cut. I don't know, Josh, if you
Yeah, I
would
thought
do
it got
different.
lost.
Yeah.
I thought it got lost.
and also like playing up the piano during those moments,
Yeah, that's good
like
too.
playing up the key bed when the whole band, yeah. So I would say like all the way up is a little bit too high. Just like putting it up from 0 to 4 is probably like a good starter. But yeah, again, kind of like what Jarian said, going up the key bed is great. So hey, let's give it up for Tiana Armijo.
All
right.
right. Armijo.
All right, who's next? Who are you gonna hand it off to?
Can I nominate someone?
Yeah, you do.
All right, I like it.
That is one of my favorite names, so I had to. I had
Good
to.
name.
I'll put you up flat.
So I named my
key are we in?
Josh.
We are going to be in the key of G.
Oh, the song changed. Oh, man.
Can you hear yourself all right?
Yeah. All right, so where's the compression?
Oh, the
timbre. Right here, the
Yeah,
compression
timbre's there,
is-
but where's the compression?
right here, the dynamic.
the whole time.
That's 375 right there.
Okay, yeah.
All right, here we go. Key of G.
Four, five, six, one, five, bridge, slowly build. Build. Chorus. All in. One. Tag. Tag. Big ending.
Nice. All right. What do you think, Josh?
Kill that.
So with all the functions.
Yeah, I was messing with the treble, and I feel like once you get like above, yeah, I feel like it's really easy to push that too high.
Yeah, yeah.
Because as soon as I started, even just a small adjustment, it made a huge difference in the sound. You know. So
Yeah, it does do a lot.
I didn't really do anything with the mids or the.
Yeah, I kind of don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Little goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Killed it.
Thank you.
Or you have something to say?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I'll take the mic.
Nothing, thank you.
All right, Aaron, you want to go up? Sure. All right, sick. Did anyone hear anything in Josh's playing that you guys want to point out? Just the knobs he moved up, things that made a big difference and whatnot?
I already forgot which one you moved, but when you moved something over here, it cut through really hard in the chorus too. So what was that?
That was the treble.
The treble? Yeah, I felt like it really cut through there.
Yeah.
And Josh, you're very dynamic when you play. So it was interesting seeing you in a big part of the song, not throwing on the compressor, but just your style. It's very dynamic in it. So I was like, oh yeah, it really doesn't need a compressor here. You know what I mean? Because you're doing it a lot. So just everyone's playing's a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. All right. Next.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what am I getting there?
Did you say G flat?
D flat.
D flat? I would never do that to anyone. All right, we're gonna go to the minor. We're gonna go to A minor. Start off with A minor.
Can't even tell you.
A minor?
Yeah.
Can't even tell you what that scale is, yo.
So you're in C main.
C
Yeah, we're in C.
Oh, okay. It
Yeah.
just starts at the A minor, at the 6.
Yeah. The dominant note chord is the sixth. The minor, it's like A minor.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
We don't mean to scare you.
Seems
All right.
like a whole different scale that I don't know
If you're ready, sir.
Go to the 10 chord.
6, 6, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 4, 5, 6. Drums in. 6, 6. Bridge 2. 6. Chorus. 4. 1, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6, 4, 1, 4. Breakdown.
Hey.
Got Aaron.
So Aaron, what buttons and knobs did you press? Because it cut through like a knife.
Yeah, so I started really high on the bass
Uh-huh.
and lower on the treble with more reverb, and I forgot to touch the reverb.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
But then as the song picked up, I took the bass down a little bit and sort of pumped up the treble. And then when everybody, sort of the full band came in, I then turned down the timbre from nothing, where I could control it to bright so that I knew it was just going to start cutting through.
Yeah. Yeah, that combination of like your EQ, like the bass, and then rolling it back, and then the timbre, like with bright, and then also adding the high EQ, it definitely like stood out. So kind of like what we're all saying, like little does a lot on the North. So
Yeah. Sound really good, Aaron. I love your dynamics. Like it's cutting through on the bass. You feel it, but then you also hear it, which is cool. Like the higher octaves cut through really well. It's good. Thanks.
anyone else notice anything with the Nord and the effects and whatnot? Cool. All right, we got one more.
Nate?
We got one more. It's either Nate or Jarian. All right, Nate's going up.
Nate Cook, boy. I'll tell you what.
All right.
That man Cook.
Is this set?
What was that?
What key is this set?
Oh, that's a great question.
E flat. I'm ready.
E. No, it's in C.
That was in C2. It's in C.
Do you like the tone you have so far?
Oh, I want to start from like 0 and
Okay.
then build it out. I want to see how that
Cool.
goes. Because I want to see like how it feels the more I.
So let me flex real quick.
Trust me, I don't know that much.
You start from.
I don't actually.
Can you hear yourself well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just turn it up a little bit.
Good. All right. Key of C.
It's Jara.
4, 5,
2, 3,
6,
4.
5, 4, 5,
1.
man, this actually might be my fault. That was so embarrassing.
That feels, I'm all like, ain't no way.
That's hilarious. Give me one second.
4, 5,
No, it's right. So when they count, yeah, I'll turn it up a little bit. Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 5,
So listen to the other instruments that are going on.
5,
Hold it.
6,
Listen to the
3.
drums.
bridge, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 5, 6, 3, bridge,
4, 6, 5, 4. Hey. Nice.
I try to really cut through. Like,
Yeah, I actually like how you boosted the mids. It cut through well with keeping the body of the sound.
that's what I always think. Like when I'm going through a bridge, it depends what bridge, because there's a lot. Like you get out of the course 2, and you're just going small in the bridge. But then there's a lot of bridges where like you just cap on the octaves, and you really want that to cut through. And that's where I was getting there at the end of that bridge, like going back to the course 3.
Yeah, it definitely cut through like a knife.
Tiana's going again.
No. I want redemption.
And now Tiana play for us really quick as we close off the night. But just really want to thank you guys, and we're always on a learning journey, no matter what, with music. And the cool thing is like everyone's so good at what they do, and everyone's just like has their own unique ability, talent, and just like it's just so humbling to be a musician and just to learn like every day, and just like the Nord, just to learn what it does and all the different functionalities. So I'll quick pray us out, but Pastor Jaren, is there anything
Yeah,
that,
before you do, I just want to say, Josh, thank you so much for taking your time, dude. You spent hours on this, and it tells in your preparation. And I was just telling we had an electric guitar hang on Sunday, and I was just saying, like, we released an album this past week, and like, it would be such a disservice to the world, honestly, if Engedi music sounded like perfect on a record, but it wasn't reflecting of what every single week it sounded like. And I think I've been a little more convicted of like, I always like, I don't want to go hard on our team. I understand that people are volunteers and everyone has a life and job, which I get it. But the more I thought about it, it's like, my job is like 5% maybe music, if not less than that. And I do I'm in a bunch of meetings thinking about programming, and I still have to find time to like dial in my craft, my tone, my sound, my piano. And I just really believe in this next season, what's gonna make our church go deeper in worship is the sound of worship. I feel like the last couple of years, God has elevated our giftings and our skill and our camaraderie when we're in worship together to flow, to know where we want to go. But it's like the sound of musicianship and the sound of worship, crafting that together, the way the drums are tuned, the way the patches sound, the way the electric tone goes, the way that vocals are even pronunciating words and singing. Like all of that creates a sound, and that sound is the sound of this house, which is Engedi Music. And just to encourage you all, Engedi Music isn't a team that meets once a year to record a live album and then it goes on a record. Engedi Music happens every Sunday. And there's people already coming every weekend now, and I believe more people to come that are coming because they heard our song on the radio, they heard our song on Spotify. I met someone who drove 4 hours because they found a reel and they were like, I want to check out your church. Like, people are coming to like learn how to worship, and people are coming to not learn how to worship, I'm sorry, people are coming to hear worship in this house, and the sound and the craft that we put into it reflects that. And so this year, man, just dive, not even deep, but as deep as your capacity is, but take a step towards sounding, like dialing your sound, dialing your tone, because I think just that 5% extra detail that goes into that makes the world of a difference in the sound of a team. And you just heard that knob going 3 clicks right completely just changed the way that Nord sounds. And I'm guilty of how many times have I turned on my gear and just started playing and not even addressing that. So one, all that to say, Josh, what you poured into the team today is the things that I've been praying for, that have been in my heart. And I really do believe over this next year, not only is our gifting going to grow, but the sound of our gifting is going to grow. And I really think it's going to complement each other well. And it's just going to be so fun. And to think what keys 1 could sound like with the keys 2, I mean, just the possibilities are endless. And I think the posture of heart and like passion is going to start to burn in us when we have that understanding of, oh, when the piano sounds like that, it makes space for that musician. Or, oh, when the electric sounds like that, it makes space for that musician. Or when the bass sounds like that, it makes space for the musician, on like the keys player. Like the communication between the instruments sonically, it's what's really going to make this team feel tight and connected. And so, just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you all for being willing to come tonight, just learn, be a fly on the wall, and honestly soak this in. And for those who are watching this video on YouTube next week, we pray that you would be passionate and fired up after this conversation. So Josh, if you want to pray us out.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, let's just stand up and just humble ourselves before the Lord at this time. God, we just want to say thank you for this night. Thank you that we get to gather, we get to learn, and thank you for the gift of music, that ultimately we just want to lead people to you, lead people to salvation. And what a great way, through music, through sound, through crafting our sound, and just tuning our ears to what you're doing at Engedi and doing in your church and doing in Holland. We just want to partner with you and on that. So God, I just pray that you would just fire us up once again. If we're feeling stale, if we're feeling stagnant, if we're just being kind of in a rut, God, musically or just even spiritually, God, I pray that you just fire us up from a song we hear, from an encouraging word, whatever it may be. I pray for new fire for our team, for the players, and I just pray that you just continue to do a great work through the work of our hands, but also through your Spirit that's in work within us in your church, God. We love you and we praise your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
1, 2, 3, war. I'm gonna start chanting war. War.
Thank you, guys.